All right. We are moving forward, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with mantra. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Great, I'm projecting the text. So we stopped at number 26, about 3 types of doers, actors. Mukta Sango, Anahamvadi, Dhrityu, Dhrityutsaha Samanvitah, Siddhya Siddhyoh, Nirvikarah, Karta Satvika Uchyate. Most probably we read it, but we didn't dwell in it. So free from attachment, Mukta Sangha, whose Sangha is attachment, is gone or is free from attachment, who is free from any kind of, attachment is the best word. Anahamvadi, never saying aham, so never saying I. And this is quite difficult to do in English language because without I, there is no sentence in English language. So English prefers active voice, yes, as you know. And every time when I'm typing some text, I use passive voice, and it is always trying to correct me. Say it in active voice. Yeah? So passive voice is not preferable. But for Sanskrit, passive voice is 80% used. Yes. So Sanskrit prefers passive voice. Instead of saying I build the house, in Sanskrit it would be said the house is built by me. So the house is built by me is more preferable. I am not in the front. You know? It can be built by you, by them, by whoever, but the house is built is the major topic. So being free, not saying aham, not using active voice, let us say. Dhrityu, dhriti utsaha samanvitah, who is full of fixed resolution and calm rectitude of zeal. That's how Sri Aurobindo translates. Annihilated by success, siddhya, siddhi asiddhyoh, nirvikarah. He is not determined or he is not bent, he is not distorted, neither or neither by success nor by failure. Karta sattvika uchyate. Such a doer, that doer is called sattvic. So, first of all, free from attachment. Second of all, not interested to promote himself in any way, in the mind or in the action. Who is full of resolution, utsaha, and dhriti, stability, steadfastness. Siddhi asiddhyoh nirvikarah is not bent or not redirected, not deviated neither by success nor by failure. This type of actor is called sattvic. Then, what is rajasic one? Ragi, karma phala pretsuch, lubdhach, hinsatmako, ashuchich, harshashokanvitach karta rajasach, parikirtitach. So the rajasic karta, the doer, is known, parikirtitach, as the one who is full of harsha and shoka, excitement, enthusiasm, and pain, suffering. Ashuchich, never pure, so to say, far from purity. Hinsatmakach, who is creating a lot of himsa. What do you call it? Violent. Shobindra said, often violent and cruel and brutal in the means he uses. Hinsatmakach. Lubdach, greedy. Has the,
Excuse me, Vladimir.
yes.
This himsa is the opposite of ahimsa.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
From root hims to hurt, ahimsa is not hurting. Lubdach from root lub to what we have in Indo-European languages as love means this kind of greedy excitement, or um, he translates greedy simply here, lubdach, possessed by this strong desire to get something. Ragi, passionately desirous of fruit, karmaphala pretsuch, and ragi, eagerly attached to the work. Interestingly, ragi is the one who has a lot of color, very colorful, very full of energy. Yes. From here, raga and dvesha. Raga is like liking and disliking. Yes? Full of liking, full of desire to get the fruit, very greedy, very full of this violent and cruel and brutal in his means he uses. Ashuchich, he is impure. And harsha shoka, anvitach, he is also full of excitement and
passionate.
Yeah, full of joy in success and grief in failure. That's how Sri Aurobindo puts it. Shoka is shock. We have the same word, interestingly. And harsha is this where hair stands up, where you have these goosebumps, and that is harsha. Yeah, this is Rajasic, actor, doer. And Tamasic, Ayuktach, Prakritach, Stabdhach, Shatho, Naikritiko, Lasach, Vishadi, Dirgha Sutricha, Kartatamasa, Uchyate. I will read Sri Aurobindo's first and then we'll go word by word. One who acts with mechanical mind, who does not put himself really into work, who does it mechanically, is stupid, obstinate, cunning, insolent, lazy, easily depressed, procrastinating. That doer is called tamasic. Vishadi, easily depressed, Dirghasutri, who is pulling, as we say in Russian, pulling cat on the tail. He's not doing the work. He's all the time extending, always postponing. Come tomorrow, this kind of nalike, all this you hear in the office. This kind of not wanting to be engaged. Lazy, alasach, insolent, naikritikach, nikriti, interesting, shatcha, cunning, stabdach, obstinate, Prakritah, interestingly, Sri Aurobindo translates as stupid. But prakritah literally means natural, following, or maybe not, maybe there is some other meaning, which I don't know. But literally it is natural, prakritah. Let me check. Original, natural, normal, ordinary. Also vulgar, yeah? Provincial, low, unrefined, low, vulgar man. So this type of ordinary, low, vulgar. And then, so we see three types of doers. One is disinterested, never promoting himself, steady in his effort and his steadfastness, or holding on to what he does without any deviation. He is not disturbed neither by success nor by failure. That is sattvic. The rajasic is the one who is very excited, who wants the fruit, who is very greedy, who can create harm and impure, and also very easily um, full of joy in success and grief in failure. And tamasic is mechanical, ayuktah, prakritah, vulgar, stabdhah, so prakritah, obstinate, stabdhah, cunning, shathah, naikritikah, insolent, lazy, alasah, vishadi, depressed. You remember first chapter was Vishada Yoga, yoga of depression, because Arjuna fell into this state. Dirgha Sutri, procrastinating, delaying, and this is tamasic karta, doer. If you want to say something on this, please go ahead, because we are done with doer. We are moving into the next section. Do you see yourself in all of it? Most probably, yes. I see myself in every one of them. In the West, there is an ideal of being enthusiastic, of being rajasic. Yes, you have to have that ownership of what you do. You have to. But these ideas of being free from attachment, they're less prominent in a way. Though they are always welcome. Yes, you can see them that in the West, they love these ideas that you are not egoistically attaching yourself too much to the action, not claiming of it to be yours. But sometimes it also looks like you are not interested in doing in this job. Yeah, you have to be interested in the job. You have to die for it. Otherwise, there is no feeling in you, no emotion, which one can recognize as something valuable in life.
If it could be possible to change the order, I can see the spectrum of the two extremes of the depression and anxiety, and then I prefer to fix in the middle the sattvic, like in the present time, in the center, in the right moment and right attitude, balance, equilibrium.
Right. And there is a very great advantage of being sattvic karta, and that is that you can observe better and see what is coming and see what is needed better than the Rajasic one, because Rajasic is totally determined to go his way, you know, breaking the walls. But that breaking the walls may be a lot of energy you have to spend, and the result will be very little. But it is better than Tamasic, better to be Rajasic, definitely. And that's Sri Aurobindo speaks about this all the time in the essays on the Gita. Because Tamasic is much worse.
Vladimir, it seems that these categories are clearly defined, but for most people that they're mixed, aren't they? I mean, we cannot identify particularly as one or another, but we can tend towards one guna, but we have the others present as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, totally agree. And some part in you may be very sattvic, other part is very tamasic, and even that you can feel that you are different personalities in different parts of your being. In the mind, you can be purely sattvic, but in your vital, you can be rajasic or tamasic or something else. And in your body, you can be very tamasic. Yeah? So in a way, it's like 1, 2, 3. Mind is more sattvic, vital is more rajasic, and body is more tamasic. That's usually the scheme.
Yes, and I think you make a really important point about the emotionalism and excitement that we're expected to bring to life. It's a difficult issue sometimes for people doing yoga because you want to have a detachment, pretty much a sattvic attitude, and be detached and be able to take the long view and a dispassionate view. But people you're in relationship with, or people, just friends even, expect you to respond emotionally
Right.
in some ways, with excitement and anticipation and all that surrounds it, with an emotional response to activities. Or
So you have to fake it, otherwise you will not have friends. You're so
well,
concerned. My God, what happened?
yeah, I guess some people will do that. Otherwise, we
Yes,
can be
otherwise you will be in trouble.
yeah, very misunderstood, right?
And sometimes it is also in the family, in the relations, especially when you are. But luckily you are both in the yoga, so it is easy to be,
Somewhat easy.
balanced.
Yeah, it helps with between us. It helps
Right.
certainly.
Oh, it's already a huge help if you have someone with whom you can be yourself without pretending to be someone. It's big help.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I can see this, and we learned to I learned to fake it. I'm telling you the truth, yeah. To be concerned, this small talk, small talk thing. You're, you're not really for this, but you will do it because it's needed. It's needed for socializing, this and that. And you can also squash out of it some interesting kind of phenomena or knowledge. Usually it is already turning to be kind of adventurous, interesting. Yeah? But yourself, you would never go into it unless life is pushing you into it. Yeah. So you are not seeking the party, you are not seeking the excitement of the senses, you're seeking something else. And when it comes, it should be. It's like Sri Krishna says in the first chapters here, remember? For the Muni, so to say, we are not yet Munis, but still we are on the path to be Munis. For the Muni, this excitement of the day is day and the night is night, yes? And for the ordinary personality, the night is day and the day is night. So it's exactly that. What interests you deeply is something boring for the ordinary people. Ordinary means those who are not interested in these topics. But and I saw this many times in my life. And but for what is for them excitement, for you is very boring. So you can't stay there in that party because it's so boring. It's killing your brain. And so you have to go, but you have to stay because, because you will be misunderstood. I hope my friends from Fountain Inn don't think about themselves. Yes, Gita, you don't think that it is the example from our parties we had such a lovely time. We were joking and endlessly until we were crying already. So much jokes.
Can I just say something? I
Yes.
was, I just wanted to, by the way, I'm glad to be back in the group again. It's been a while.
Yeah, nice.
It's been a long while. I just wanted to say that to be really harmonious, though, we have to and include the negative in the sattvic and the positive in the rajasic and the positive also in the tamasic. I mean, there's both sides to each one of those, correct?
Very nice. I'm very glad that you brought this topic because they are all needed in a way. It's not
Yes.
that only tamasic is tamasic bad. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mainly it is bad for our spirit. It is from the point of view of the spirit we are looking at it, yeah, of the
Yeah.
developmental paradigm. Yes, it is not
Mm.
good.
Well, I look at the tamasic sometimes as a person or a being who really knows how to let go of things. Doesn't just there's that would be the positive side for me, is to the tamasic person really knows how to let go of all of situations,
May,
doesn't let things bother him.
maybe you are mistaken. That is sattvic
Mhm.
actually. It's not
Is it
tamasic.
really?
Yeah, freedom
Oh,
from attachment. Yeah,
oh.
because tamasic doesn't have that freedom of attachment. It's totally wrongly involved. Yeah. It's
Mm.
something else. It's kind of creating a total misconception, bewilderment of some kind. It is not a way out, actually.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
it's it's you're getting deeper and deeper into the trouble in a way.
I see. Okay. Hmm.
You're like in the swamp. You're kind of you're not free. You're not flying free because you're tamasic. You have only sattvic, mukta sangha. This is the first word. Free from attachment.
Uh-huh. So what would be the positive side of the tamasic then for you,
Rest,
what would be? Oh,
sleep.
rest. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even sleep cannot be totally tamasic because it's not good. Totally, yes, because
Right.
then we are very
No,
heavy.
no.
We are not rested. And Jayashri was giving us the course on this conscious sleep. That is difficult to do because we are used to be tamasic when we fall asleep, and to be, sattvic, to be aware, or even rajasic to start with, to go into sleep, is very uncomfortable for us. Yeah,
Yes.
we
Yes, it is.
want to forget, we want to die for that night and wake up a new person or something. Yeah, we don't want to continue to be conscious in the sleep. I mean, something in us. I don't say we as full. Yeah, some part in
Yes.
us
Yes. Yes.
is drawn to this oblivious tamasic state of. You remember how Sri Aurobindo starts the first canto in Savitri? Uh, and there he describes, and Mother gives a very interesting commentary on the night where the earth it wants to fall back to sleep because many attempts the earth tried to break through this tamasic drowsy state, and it never worked out at the end. So it falls back into tamas, and it wants to be in that oblivious state of not
Yes.
being aware. Something in us wants this, dissolution into nothingness. We
Yes.
even, something in us even wants death in that sense. You will stop being this all the time effort, all the time trouble. So it's so nice to stop doing that, to become totally lazy, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And that is tamas.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that is
Okay.
positive in a way. That's the positive part.
Yes. I see. Okay. Thank you.
Well, any other positive you can find. There are many things.
Yes, I will. I'll search because I know that certainly is a part of me. There's no question about it.
Yeah. And you see here this vata, pitta, and kapha. Yes, those who have kapha a lot, they know what is tamasic, what is to be lazy. Yeah, like we can enjoy laziness also. There is joy in tamas. Yeah? For
Mhm.
example, and on Sunday morning when you don't have to go anywhere, in your PJs, you're sitting there with coffee and you can do things which you usually don't do. So it's a little bit funny way of making tamas also positive.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
Not doing anything. It's also very pleasant. Not rushing, not planning. Uh,
No, that's great. I understand traumas more than from that. Thank you. Yeah. But then now the Rajasic person, the positive side for the Rajasic person would be that this person really gets things done, correct?
kind of done,
Yeah.
yes. You can rely on him in doing it at least, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He will
Right.
be he will be pushing, planning,
Yes.
which is sometimes even too much when people are planning all the time, next day, next week, next month. They're planning and live according to the plan. This is the Rajasic Karta. Yeah?
Right.
And sometimes it looks to me like they don't live at all. They just figure out something in the mind, and according to that,
Yes.
they frame their life. They miss all life, all the
Mm-hmm.
real life
Mm-hmm.
because of that planning. But it is
Mm-hmm.
a part of reality, and one has to also embrace it and to learn to plan and live according to the discipline, to the rules which you created. It's important. If we totally
Yes.
neglect it, we become tamasic. We fall into again. So
Mm-hmm.
this struggle between tamas and rajas is ongoing.
So it's good to have a balance.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Balance is not easy to achieve. Usually when we want to have balance, we fall into tamas. And then we want to get out of the tamas, we start a rajasic action. Yeah? Balance is a new quality. This sattvic doer is a higher quality of consciousness. It cannot be done by imitating it. It cannot be done by me saying that I am now detached from the attachments. I'm free from the attachments. I will convince myself. I will not say I. It will not change my state. It needs a real change. I have to be that. He gives us a hint how to see things, yes. But to become that, we need much more than
Mm.
just knowing it.
And
It's
it like
yeah,
said, like you said, Vladimir, the mind and the body. So I feel like my mind is very rajasic and my body is very tamasic. So I am constantly in this strife. I'm like, oh, I had planned this. I have to do this. Okay, now it's 12 o'clock. I have to attend this because my mind is saying that. And I'm like, oh my God, I also feel tired. And it's just constantly in this whole hustle.
interesting what you notice because that's what Sri Aurobindo describes about something about India in a way. Um, he says that India, because of this spiritual, zeal to achieve higher consciousness, neglected the middle part of this rajasic vital activity. and lost the grip over the realization in matter. This is his ideas, which are quite interestingly, we can see them. What you said, it's exactly confirmation of that. So your mental activity is highlighted, but your vital says, oh, but there's so much has to be done for that. How can you really, better we wait, wait for better occasion or something. And
Yeah, and I see people around me here. I mean, they are so active, and I really want to be that active, but I get so tired, and I'm like, and it's like very confusing for me. I am like sleepy, but I also want to do things, and then it just gets me into this middle path, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, and I don't know how do they have so much energy to still be doing so many things in life. I'm so tired.
yeah, this is a first discovery in the West. People are active. God knows where they are running, why they cannot stop. They have to do everything the whole day. They are doing something. And from one point of view, from the higher point of view, it's such a small doing. Yeah? There's nothing big. There's no big work. They have kind of discussing such small things that you're even tired to listen to it. But still, they are constantly engaged in perfecting the matter, perfecting the relations with matter. It's a great sacrifice.
Yeah,
For me, it was the same surprise when I came to Norway. I thought, are they crazy? All the time they are doing something. Cannot stop, cannot sit down and just think for a second.
yeah. I mean,
We are
this is so.
thinkers and they are doers.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, I at times now when I mean, when you're saying, I'm also just reflecting that at times I would get zoned out in the class and I was like, oh my God, it's so much. I need some time out. I need to not listen to this. It's too much of data entry happening.
Yes, and when they speak this interestingly about this apprehensive cognition. They are piling up things. For them, it is very normal. They have a strength in the vital to hold on to it. And people from India and myself do not have that strength to hold on to all those nitty-gritties because they are less important. I look at them as secondary, and because of that negligence in me, I cannot really master them. I can feel this in me. Yeah? So I'm kind of
Yeah.
describing what could happen in the mind of this type, who is interested only in the higher things and cannot handle just normal life.
Then it also gets you like as high it gets, as low it gets, I think, because I'm not really working on perfecting the matter in the physical, then I can't also concentrate. So if I can't concentrate, I can have an experience of the higher consciousness, but then I mean I can just swing back to the lowest, and then because it's the same both ways.
Absolutely. A very, very good description. And what happens when you fly high? Then you fall down because the middle is not holding you, The
Yeah.
middle is not really formed, this Rajasic. And once it is formed, then you will not fall down. You will be stopped there somewhere in the activity and it will save you. So this balance between these gunas is profound.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is very interesting for me. I have to build that up. It constantly keeps knocking, and yeah, through that specifically the matter in the physical. Yeah, it's just a lot of work.
And did you notice, especially in my case, when I see no, enough is enough, I have to make order in the physical. You clean everything, you make your cloth order, everything is clean, and you feel so good. You feel finally you can live. That part in you which was neglected for so long is taken care of. It's the same with health. I neglect my health. I neglect everything. It's some kind of not enough strength to deal with the physical.
Yeah, I mean that's very what you say is very relatable. Like for example, my flatmate, he's gonna get up. He slept now, and he'll get up again at 6:30, go for swimming, and then whole day he'll be on. I was like, where do you get this energy from?
I have to have a nap for my siesta time because they
Yeah,
go for swimming in meanwhile, yes, or something.
yeah.
Or
I
working
go
in the
to class.
garden and then coming back very happily.
Yeah, it's very surprising. I was like, maybe it's my body, but then I realized I also noticed a couple of other Indians in these classes. I was like, no, it's not just me. I have been going for running every Saturday. I still am the like one of the last fourth or fifth runners, and despite doing it for so long, I was like, why do you guys get so much energy? I'm trying, but it's not happening.
But it's good you are building it up. You know what Vivekananda said about the youth of India? He said that I would not give them Bhagavad Gita, I would give them a football because
Yeah.
they're weak in this part. In the Bhagavad Gita, they are strong enough. And this is an amazing insight, actually. It is something which is lacking in the development of this over spiritualized personality and direction of living. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. And this thought is coming that the sadhus, the yogis also didn't work on the physical.
yeah,
And so the physical is obviously not developed because the work has not been done historically.
yeah.
And yeah, it's just,
And even philosophically, it's admitted that it should be like this. This is the way to go. To
yeah.
neglect your outer nature, to neglect your physical being to the extent that it will perish and you will go to the spirit. This is the idea.
Yeah, if not for Sri Aurobindo and Mother, everybody would think the same.
Yeah, you think why Mother created that, the department of the physical exercises in the, I forgot already the name of it. Why every child, every adult, even Nirod there, and everyone walks in front of the mother in shorts, and this the beautiful younger and older, all of them have to get grip over the matter. We cannot leave it to the hostile forces or to the lower vital desires. So this balance between sattvic knowledge and vitality, which is dedicated to the sattvic greater light and physical body, joins them. This is the ideal of the Gita also.
Yeah. Yeah, it's after reading Mother and Sri Aurobindo, I'm like, no. Spirituality does not mean that you just have to sit and meditate. It's also beyond that.
Yeah, and Mother
To get
actually
to
didn't
physical.
like meditations much. You know that, yeah. She did
Yeah.
this, but she didn't really encourage that on the regular basis, that every day you have to spend 3 hours with closed eyes. It doesn't help really. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
the way to go. It is needed, but in its own place.
Yeah.
Great, thank you for sharing these. These are great thoughts. So, if you have nothing else to say, then we're
I
going.
do. I have something else
Yeah,
that I
please go
want
ahead.
to add. So that the negative part of the Satwick would be that it it is kind of keeps us in intellectual knowledge and doesn't let us rise higher. Is that would be that the negative part of the Satwick?
Very nice. I like it. You're now looking for the negative in the positive. Yeah?
Yes.
Right. Sattvic attachment to sukha, to happiness, is another problem. When we are
Yes.
attached to our happiness, everything has to be, beautiful, no raising voice. You have to be in that. That becomes also a problem because it is an attachment and it blocks you away from finding your spirit. Somewhere, maybe some of you know this Castaneda. Somebody read this Castaneda?
Yes. Yes.
And here, yes, I liked it in one particular regard where he says that that what will be your next enemy is this attachment to clarity of thought. This becomes the enemy. Yes, the clarity of thought itself, and you liking it, liking knowledge, becomes your enemy in a way, because then you will start making it, you will start reproducing it, you will start living that middle zone, and will not move forward, will not
Yes.
find the truth beyond. This is something of the negative part of, yes, of
Yes.
sattva.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to clarify something. Well, first, is this the only place where we can find all of this meaning about the Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic, or is coming from another source? Is the Gita the only place, or the first place where we can find it?
Yeah, it's the first place where you can find it. After that, there will be many commentaries, discussions, a lot of literature, but this is the where it was originated in this way of thinking. Yes,
Nice.
that's why Gita is so important for Hinduism. It's considered to be like the Bible, in Judaism. It's this small Gita, only 700 verses, is considered to be so profound.
And then after the Gita, it was considered the balance of all of these three, the mukti.
No, interestingly, Gita was again misinterpreted. Even Gita, which is speaking so clearly about this composition of man and looking beyond and going beyond, was misinterpreted again and again and again, million times, by everyone, actually. If you read the explanations, when I was in the university, I was reading many commentaries on the Gita from Tilak, from Gandhi, from Shankaracharya. They don't see in Karma Yoga that what Gita sees, what Sri Aurobindo sees in it. They see the duty, samatvam yoga uchyate, indifference, attachment as a detachment from the activity as detachment, not from the desire, but from the activity together with desire, because it's very difficult to separate desire and activity. So all these things are not clarified. It's only in Sri Aurobindo that we read new meaning, that meaning of the Gita, as I believe. That we have to be composed, we have to have all the elements. Nature is doing its work, and we have to allow it to do it. But we have certain priorities, preferences, to be more sattvic. Yeah? It's a ongoing process of discovery. It's not something what I want to be only sattvic. Sattva is only a step towards the discovery of my true self. And without sattva, it's also possible, by the way, but it's more difficult.
I think I'm confused now.
Oh, sorry.
It's like when I know I'm confused, I think I'm in the good pathway.
Good,
Isn't it?
yeah. Me too. Yeah. When I don't know something, I'm so happy. Finally, there will be something to discover.
When you think everything is clear, it's
Well, that's boring.
the worst position. It's a fake position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what I want to say, sometimes I can see the tamas, rajas, and sattvic like a ladder coming up, and you have to go beyond sattvic. But another times I see tamas, rajas, and sattvic and sattva, it is a trinity where you have to try to find the balance with all of three to be transcendent. Then I don't know which one is the correct one.
All of them are correct. All of them are present simultaneously. You cannot, one cannot be without the other. You see, in Sankhya, it is described in a very beautiful way. When Purusha attends to Prakriti, Prakriti mixes these gunas. And the mixtures create the world. All things in the world, starting from the higher mind, buddhi, towards the physical being, are the mixtures of these gunas. There is nothing here pure sattvic or pure rajasic or pure tamasic. Nothing. This is the mixture where one predominance is taking place. In the higher buddhi, there will be more sattvic predominance. Yeah? In the lower physical being, there will be tamasic predominance. Stone becomes tamasic. It is not sattvic. Yeah? The bones, the body is more tamasic. And it should be so. There's nothing wrong about it. But it depends where we want to go. If you want to go into the body, become the body and be the body, then go. If you want to go beyond, so you have to rise to buddhi. And from buddhi, from that step, you may see beyond. There is the witness there, which is beyond sattva. It is not sattvic. In a presentation by Radhe, some of you have been there, she made a quotation on sattva, which was very interesting, from Sri Aurobindo, that sattva is a representative of the higher soul, the higher self. It's not made from the lower kind of elements. Yeah? It's not the result of the balancing between rajas and tamas, as usually mentally we see it. It is a new quality which is directly connected to some higher capacity. And that is interesting because what we try to explain here also, the same story, that you cannot gain it by mimicking it, or you have to get the realization of that self or some glimpse of it to be sattvic.
I think it's about the transformation of the gunas. Like sattva changes from, its lower prakriti to the higher form of jyoti. And tamas becomes sama. And rajas becomes, I'm forgetting what, but the three of them convert into their higher forms. From common tamas, rajas, and sattva, which is ordinarily prakriti in our lower nature. When the lower nature transforms into the higher self, higher nature, prakriti undergoes a change and all the three gunas undergo transformation. So the inertia of tamas becomes the calm, the steadfastness. And the activity of rajas becomes the shakti. And the sattva becomes jyoti, light, in its highest form. So the three gunas get transformed also.
Lovely.
So that is the yoga. The integral yoga is transforming the gunas to their real properties. Yep. Transformation of nature.
Wonderful. I love it. And somewhere, Shribindo, even the beauty of sattva, that sattva is not the highest in the transcendental. The tamas is the highest in the transcendental. And this is something unexpected, that the divine being, the divine existence, which is the most tamasic here, is becoming the highest, the fundamental there, which holds everything. And sattva is only that result of luminosity of consciousness, as you rightly say, and energy. But notice, interestingly, that this is also the triple supermind, which is more unifying, diversifying, and diversified. Three levels of the supermind, which then are reflected in nature as mental, vital, and physical. And they fit so well into these ideas of gunas because they are the result of this predominance of one of these gunas on these levels. So it's not just the concept, it's something more than concept. Yeah? It's a power which works in this way. We chose to work in this way to create the worlds. Many times they also compare them with Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, which I don't like. So I will not bring it forward because I don't believe that it is. I think it is more mechanical because they want to justify Trinity, and so with gunas they will do this.
Vladimir, I think you said that the Gita is the scripture that brought out the three gunas. My understanding was that it was already an important part of Sankhya. And just doing a quick Google now, I find references to it for people pretending or claiming to teach the Vedas and Vedanta, especially Vedanta. But wasn't it at least an important part of Sankhya? Maybe not so much, maybe not applied to the same extent.
Yes,
But,
absolutely. Sankhya is built on this. This is the fundamental prakriti or pradhana. Prakriti consists of these three qualities which are in equilibrium when Purusha does not attend to them. But the moment he attends, the moment he delegates out of himself his faculties, she starts mixing, building them up.
Yeah, you really need them to explain pradhana and the work of Prakriti. Yeah, but now are they also prominent in Vedanta?
Vedanta is Upanishads, yes. There is very, very little, but Vedanta is spread from 1000 BC to 1000 AD. You know, there are so many Upanishads. So if you consider that to be Vedanta, then yes.
Actually, the concept of the gunas also came from Ayurveda in Atharva Veda.
Atharva Veda, I don't remember this.
Ayurveda came from Atharva.
Well, that is considered to be, yes. They find the source in Atharva Veda is totally mysterious. Nobody knows the timing of its composition. It joined the party later, because before it's Trividya is mentioned all the time. So when Atharva Veda joined, Trividya was already formed. That means Rigveda, Yajurveda, and Samaveda. And they were redistributed: Rigveda, earth; Yajurveda, space in between heaven and earth; and Samaveda, heaven. So it was already complexity, which was not requiring Atharva Veda. And then Atharva Veda joined in Brahmanic period somewhere. It didn't have even Brahmana, Atharva Veda, because it joined later. So new Brahmana was composed specially for Atharva Veda, Gopatha Brahmana, to make it, part of the. But still, it is felt that it joined the party. And the very content in Atharva Veda is always magical, all these kind of curses, cures. There are few very beautiful hymns, also very highly Vedic hymns, but the language itself is much closer to our classical language, interestingly. But the format, the content is very magical. Yes, magic structure of consciousness. This formulas, magic formulas all the time. Cursing someone to lose the lover, or cursing someone to get sick, or to be, to get rid of the disease. And from there it came to so-called to Ayurveda. but it's more like building up the lineage to make it. I'm not sure even that it is at all true. Yeah, because I know of Atharva Veda quite well. I don't see there that lineage. I see that it is quite artificially declared in Ayurveda. Everybody believes in it because it is in the system. Yeah? So why should we not? But there is not much evidence of this, and that is interesting. Only in the content of curing and cursing, causing the disease and removing the disease. But you find it in the Rig Veda, as Radhe truly said, and it is already there with Ashwins. Ashwins are the first cures, those who cured the gods and the human beings and the rishis. So it might be also there. I don't want to argue. I'm just saying that sharing with you my thoughts on Atharva Veda and on the Ayurveda. Ayurveda, Sushruta Samhita and Charaka Samhita, they are of much later time, most probably 500 AD. And language is very close to the classical Sanskrit already. There were ancient texts which they refer to, Kashyapa Samhita, which was lost, yeah? Which we have no access to. But it could be that. So what did you want to say? I'm just kind of arguing with you for no reason. Jayashree.
Oh, you're asking me. I don't know. My knowledge is not much. I was only saying what I have read was that Ayurveda came out of Atharva Veda, and in Ayurveda they have this Sankhya philosophy of the Prakriti and then how creation was formed and how Prakriti uses the gunas.
Right.
Like you said, mixes them up and, creates nature.
Yes, that's what also Radha had made the
Yes, it's the
presentation.
same thing.
Right, but it is Sankhya. Sankhya is 800 BC, the oldest texts. And Gita is creating this Sankhya, which is pre-Sankhyaik Sankhya. Yeah? Sankhya comes later and it takes over all the philosophies, all the Hinduism, yes. But not in Atharva Veda. There is no Sankhya in Atharva Veda yet. There is no Sankhya in the Gita or in the Rig Veda at all. And I was always wondering because our famous Vamadeva, yes, he wrote so many things referring gunas and this way of thinking and viewing to Rig Veda, and I don't see it at all. We can argue about this because I don't see it coming from there. Rig Veda has totally different position or different knowledge. The gunas are not yet there. Gunas are more already of the conceptual mind, of mental structure. They're closer to us, to our times. It's already a philosophy of some kind. It's a philosophical view, detached from the events. Yeah? It's already kind of trying to learn to know by the mind. You can see it. It's very tangible in a way. Okay. I think we can, only 3 shlokas, so long talking. But there is no other way for me also to explain myself about these topics like Ayurveda, Atharva Veda, so I take the opportunity to say what I think about them, So you just have to take it in that context. That finally I was given the floor to say something on the Atharva Veda and Ayurveda. And I translated many texts with Kashyapa, that is Kashyapa with Arogya Center in Albuquerque. I was invited several times to go there, and we worked with his students on different texts. Yeah, and they are profound. I must tell you, these Ayurvedic texts, this is something we have to look into. It is in itself a treasure. Not as a practice of of the medicine, but as a philosophy of life. It's an amazing vision. And maybe for Charles and Teresa it would be interesting, because they are into that, how to make things harmonious. This vision of human being from the point of view of elements which are participating in building up the universe. It's always look from up down, not from bottom up, from up down. You have the concepts, you have the forces, and then you see how these forces come together and play out. And then once you see them, you know what is required for this body to find the balance. So unique, so beautiful. Not curing the diseases, just balancing the system, in a right way. It will cure itself. It has a power to cure itself. It doesn't need this one disease to deal with, to drill. But both are needed, Rajasic also. Great, we can stop here and continue next time on Buddhi Bhedam, on 3 types of Buddhi and 3 types of Dhriti, and 3 types of something else. Dhriti and Sukha. We will look also 3 types of happiness. Okay, I will close with mantra. Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.